I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Now, if you don't know me, my name's Brittany, and I film videos based around the paranormal and mythological beings. Now, I've always experienced things here and there when it came to the paranormal. And when I was younger, I experienced even more. However, the past couple months, I've experienced a decent amount of things in my apartment. Now, there are things that happen mostly when I am home alone with my son. I'm also a lot more open to things, so my fiance Jeff, he doesn't really see as much as I do. Now, I've seen things on and off here since we moved in, and it's mostly just like shadow figures, and that's kind of about it. Now, about 2 months or so ago, maybe a little bit less, I had a very odd experience that I had never experienced before. Now, I had this weird feeling all day, and I just kind of had to get out of the house. Well, out of the apartment. And I took my son to TJ Maxx and Target. They were both in the same plaza, so just kind of to get out, clear my head. And the apartment we live in, we can't really just like go outside for a walk. Now, my fiance was in class. He was going to be in class until like 10 p.m. So it would just be myself giving my son a bath and putting him to bed. Now, I was on my way home and it was about 7 p.m. and I clicked the radio station. Now, when I clicked the radio station, it immediately said, "Get out of the house." And it was in this like very clear male voice that was speaking with urgency. Now, I had never heard anything like that before. I listen to the radio almost every time I'm in the car, and there's been no commercials that say anything like that. And it was that. It was just that, and then it ended. So it strikes me as a little weird, because then it took a while before a song actually started playing. So it was literally just that. That was the very end of it. Just get out of the house. And I couldn't think of a commercial that said something like that, because it wasn't like I would get out of the house and do this. Like, it was just literally just get out of the house. So then I was a little freaked out. I sat outside my apartment in the car. My son had fallen asleep in the back. And I called my sister. I started texting my fiance. I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, this is very strange. So then I came inside, checked everything. Nothing was out of the ordinary. Nothing else happened that night. Now, the next day, my son was a little fussy, and I had to keep pacing back and forth, holding him. So I had walked over a specific spot multiple times. Then it was like midday. I had just finished feeding my son, and he ended up spitting up on me. And himself. So I had to change my clothes and change his clothes. And I changed him. I noticed that my fairy communication amulet was actually facing up, sitting on the ground. Now, it was, I haven't touched this amulet. Like, I haven't moved it in months at this point. And it's all of a sudden there. Like, that's a little strange. And I'll actually show you guys where it normally sits and how it normally sits. So that is where it normally sits, and it's literally just an herbal-filled amulet that's supposed to boost your communication with the fairy realm. So this amulet was just sitting on the floor, just laying there, with its cord kind of wrapped in a spiral, and my antennas immediately went up. So I was like, this is strange. Like, there's no way that a cat could have moved it. I have 3 cats, by the way, but it's, as you can see, it's literally tucked behind. Like, the string is tucked behind the fairy's welcome sign. So there's no way that a cat could, like, knock it over and drag it as far over as it was. My fiance was at work, so I was home with my son. He was like 5 months old at the time, so no possible way that he could have gotten up and moved it. And I had walked over this spot so many times that morning, and it wasn't there. And I have to look down when I walk, just like making sure that I'm not going to step on anything. So I would have seen it. Now, later that day, he had spit up again on me. So I went into the bedroom to change, and I had seen a white orb. And then it disappeared. Now, I had also had to change him again, and I had seen something that looked like this, like, tiny white item, like, figure. And it was floating right above him on the changing table. So I didn't get, like, this dark feeling or anything like that. I was just like, this is strange. And I feel like if something wants to communicate with me or get my attention, a communication amulet is literally the best way to do that, because this is literally an object that says, I would like to communicate with you. Now, I was also walking around that day, and I had seen a shadow person right in front of my eyes. So it was a very strange 2 days. Now, I had stopped really seeing things for about a month or so. Like, I could catch things out the corner of my eye, but it was no big deal. Like, nothing crazy. And a couple days ago, I had seen a shadow person, and I was, like, almost face on, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then 2 days ago, my son had woken up at around 1:30 a.m. Now, I had tried getting him to fall back asleep because I would like it if he slept through the entire night, and he usually does a pretty good job at that. But I tried convincing him to go back to sleep, just like shushing him, stroking the bridge of his nose. After about half an hour of trying to get him to fall back asleep, my Jeff had actually woken up and had offered to feed him for me, so then I could sleep a little bit more. Now, at this point, I was pretty fully awake. I was obviously tired because it's 1 o'clock, or at that point, 2 o'clock in the morning. And now Jeff had went to the bathroom and then went to start Sebastian's bottle, and I had went to go and change Sebastian. Now, I had handed Jeff Sebastian, and I went to turn around, and my head was, like, kind of down, and I started walking, and I almost ran into something. Now, when I say I almost ran into something, I don't mean I almost ran into a wall or bookcase or anything like that. Like, I almost ran into a figure. Now, this figure was wearing clothes and was also see-through, but it was a person, and it was standing right in front of me. Now, because my head was slightly angled down, I never got a chance to see their face, but I kind of, like, jolted because I was startled because I, like, started to look up and there was a person in front of me. And so because of my reaction, it made Jeff turn and look at me and see that, like, that I was so startled, and he had asked what was wrong. So therefore, I continued to tell him that I almost ran into someone. And he was a little freaked out by it because he has never actually seen anything, but it didn't feel harmful. It didn't feel negative, so I just continued to go back into the room and then eventually fall back asleep. Now, that leads us to today. Now, I came out and I went to the coffee table to light a candle. Now, my son's phone was sitting on the table. Now, it wasn't anywhere near the candle. However, it was still on the table, like kind of towards the end. There's nothing else around it. And this only works if you hit something. So you have to actually hit a button or touch the screen for this to work. So this toy actually started playing. When I didn't touch it, my son didn't have it, there was no cat around. There's literally nothing that would have touched the screen or a button. And it has never just randomly went off before. So that brings me to my latest experience today. I have a few ideas. The thing that I almost ran into, it definitely looked like a spirit because I could see the clothing on the spirit. This phone is, well, it runs off batteries, but still an electronic item, which ghosts can often use to communicate. So this would make sense to go off if there is a spirit here. I want to know what you guys think it is. Do you think? I personally don't believe that this thing is malevolent. However, I know a lot of times they do try to get on your good side if they are demonic or bad, and so you kind of let your guard down. So I'm hoping, especially with having a son, that that's not the case. I do often see him talking to things that aren't there, but children are much more perceptive of the different realms than we are. I am having a giveaway, so I will drop all of the information for that down below in the info. It is completely free. All you have to do is follow the Instagram that it is on and subscribe to my channel. So very easy, quick steps, and you get a mystery box that is completely free. So you don't pay for shipping, you don't pay for anything. Make sure to go ahead and check that out. That ends May 6th. So, and again, I hope that you guys are all doing well, and I know that right now it's very frustrating, especially having to isolate from people, and Easter just happened, and not being able to spend that with your loved ones. I hope you did all have a wonderful Easter. But we will get through this. It will come to an end. We still are able to go outside and go for walks. So really take advantage of that, because that is so incredibly good for you and like your mental health as well as your physical health. And with that said, I will see you guys next time.